Hello people, this is Power here with the review with the DX Sclash Driver from Kamen Rider Build. This is the second driver that was released in Build's run, and this driver's upgrade for Cross to give him cross charge, and also has the new Rider, Kamen Rider Grease. The gimmicks for this driver are the Splash Jellies, which are obviously different from full balls, and they're in the shape of packets, so this includes the Dragon Sclash Jelly and the Robot Sclash Jelly. As you can see here, there's a picture of the Sclash Driver, Build logo, DX Sclash Driver, not Romanized, surprisingly. And we get a nice shot of Cross Charge and Grease. Honestly, these designs have actually grown on me, and this whole toy in general has grown on me. Because when they first got revealed in the second quarter, honestly, I didn't really like the designs. But honestly, when they actually showed up in the show, they actually grew on me. Obviously, Bandai Japan, approved by Toy. Here's Grease and Cross in the back, Cross Charge in it, and just a continuation off of his picture, which is pretty neat. As I fold that back in. Sclash Driver, Cross Charge and Grease, and the back top just tells you that you can twist the tops of the jellies, as always the caps in it, and you can squeeze them. The top here, the wrench, the jelly tank, and the Sclash Jelly. More pictures of Cross Charge and Grease. You can use the Sclash Jellies with everything else and the contents of the box. And this is the back of basically what I'm going to show you, and of course the AAA batteries. So let's get into this toy. So this is everything that comes in the box. Moving the Sclash Jellies aside, the Sclash Driver itself aside, let's just talk about the belt connectors, obviously, because this is a driver. And so we're using the ghost ones, oddly enough. So these are the same connector ports, and obviously there's just two clear plastic buttons that you just press to insert into the driver. Obviously there's the strap, which is still too small. This is actually elongated, but it's in the silver color, which is pretty neat. And the back cover of the belt, which is again basically the ghost drivers. Obviously, you just slot this one in the right, and you slot this one in the left. If I can put it in, put the back cover in. Then you put in whatever notch you want it to be in. There you go. You got the Sclash Driver, which is actually pretty neat. Again, I kind of wish to wear it, but I don't have any extenders, so yeah. Moving this aside again, just take it apart from here. Here's the Sclash Driver itself. Now it actually comes separated because this wrench part is removable. I guess you can make the box bigger, because honestly, I don't know, I feel like this is one of the reasons why the box is as big as it is. Probably the belt straps too, but there's two red buttons. You just put them into these slots and you're done. The Sclash Driver is sort of like the mock driver, color scheme wise, but just a lighter blue, which I actually do like. Again, here's the jelly tank, and I forgot what this part is, but it does have the Build logo, so that's pretty neat. And the back doesn't really have anything, and the on and off switch is down here. I thought it would be like the mock driver and be over here, but I don't know. This is where you put the batteries. Again, you just push the button and remove the slot. And yeah, so as you can see, the Sclash Driver is basically kind of like a garbage composer or something like that. I forgot what it's called. The wrench is your handle, and when you push it down, it brings these two things. The wrench and the crushers are in this nice silver metallic plastic, which is pretty cool, but as you can see, it's a fingerprint magnet, so yeah. And there were the pins, just for the bottles, and obviously with most of the build stuff, they have this like caution, but this one doesn't have it as much, and there's a darker blue everywhere, here and there. And this is where the speakers are, which I honestly didn't notice when I first got it, and there's this gray tubing. So when you push it down, there's like, at first there's no clicks until you press it to the first click. There's about 3 clicks or so, but it's pretty satisfying. Like the Fang memory, I guess you can say. So before we get into this, let's get into the splash jellies. So here are the 2 that are included. Let me zoom in. The Dragon Splash Jelly and the Robot Splash Jelly. Obviously, we're going to look at Dragon first. These are a pretty interesting gimmick because these are actually like plastic and you have to squeeze them and such. But honestly, I do enjoy these. These do not shake because their gimmick is to squeeze. There's a sponge in there, so that's how it works. So the sponge will be fine, but the plastic, as you can see, it's already worn out. But it's not because of the Sclash Driver though. Size comparison of a full bottle, they're bigger. I kind of don't understand why. Like, their tracks are clearly the same, but they just extended this part. And their QR code for Kamen Rider is down here, so if you want it. And also in the back, they actually just have like made up information, and it's like tells you not to eat it. Then over here it tells you again not to eat it. There's the barcode to buy it, so yeah. And obviously you can twist the cap because that's what every full bottle does. Yeah. So here's Robot, which is again similar to Dragon, just I don't know why for Dragon there's no like actual dragon, because in Robot there's an actual robot. But yes, this is Dragon Splash Jelly. This is Robot Splash Jelly. This is in like, somewhat gold, I don't want to say mustard foil, because this is just in typical gray foil. Basically the same stuff. Obviously here are the rails. They're the same rails as their full bottle counterparts. I don't have Dragon because I don't have Cross Dragon. I don't have Robot because I don't have the Phoenix Robo set. I still want to get it though. And the cap twist, it squeezes. And same stuff. The QR code. And yeah. So let's put these into the Sclash Driver if it wants to focus. There. So like what I mentioned before, let me zoom out or zoom in. The on and off switch is here, so it announces its name, and there's a white LED. It doesn't do anything when nothing's in, just like the build driver. So obviously, insert the Dragon Jelly, but we gotta be show accurate and twist the cap. So just a typical build toy, you insert the Splash Jelly in to the rail. Push the wrench down and squeeze the heck out of this. I still like that transformation. So you actually don't need to like push this all the way through if you don't want to like damage your Splash Jellies. So you have to like just push it down about here. also like the build driver, the second like turning thing, like after the transformation is just the finisher. So for cross charge it's scrap brake, and obviously when you're done you just inject the squash jelly. So let's turn into grease. Same process. So yeah, I actually do like the fact that Grace's transformation is similar to Phoenix Robo's because of the fact this is robot. I kind of do wish Dragon was like similar to Cross Dragon's transformation, but it still has a guitar. Again, do the finisher. So Grease gets the scrap finish. I don't get why cross charge gets scrap break. I kind of wish they were the same finishers just to be like consistent with the build driver, but I digress. Yeah, that's basically what you get out of these two, but that's why there's full bottle compatibility. So let's bring out Usual and Metal, because you know they're two separate bottles and touch. But so since Yujo is friendship, and friendship involves people, Yujo is organic, so it will be considered charge. There's a red LED to represent Rabbit, because Rabbit is obviously built to one form. So yeah, everything that's basically a person or animal is considered charge. So for a better example, here's Doctor. Obviously a doctor is a person, so he's considered organic. So, yeah. Here's metal. Metals are not people. Metals are objects. And thus, it's inorganic, and so it's discharge. LED's blue, because to represent tank. Again, to showcase that it'll do the same sound. Here's game. Game is obviously a thing people, I don't know, it's discharge. And so yeah, that's basically it for the Sclash Driver. There is one more thing, but we'll look at that soon. So overall, what I think about the Sclash Driver is that it's a pretty decent driver, but I kind of do wish, because the fact that it has a pen reader, it was like the mock driver, and it was actually able to like read the bottles. Like, you know, when I put in Doctor, I kind of wish it says like Doctor Bottle or something. Then it says like Doctor Charge and like, you know, Metal Charge and such. But sadly, it doesn't do that. Especially since they use these in the show, especially Grease. I kind of did wish it had more compatibility, but that's a flaw in the build driver entirely. So I can't really complain about that, but other than that, I think this is actually a pretty nice driver to pick up because of the fact there really only is 5 sounds. dragon, robot, charge and discharge, and very soon crocodile. So since I got this for like $46, so that's actually pretty nice. Obviously, the build driver has more, so if you want like your bottles to have like more usage, then I'll say I recommend the build driver for that. But if you just want like a toy that doesn't really like involve you to get like so much stuff, then I would say get the Scotch driver because you really only need this, a full bottle set, and pretty soon crocodile crack full bottle. But yeah, so that's basically it for this review. So this is PowerRider, and I'll live you people. Bye.